Right, here we are, we're at Salhouse.
All Saints Church.
All Saints Church, there it is. Thatch roof. If you notice the addition of beautiful radar dishes and satellite on top, nothing sacred, only the pound. I'm sure they're getting a couple for that. Anyway, enough of that political ranting. Tina, why are we here?
Well, we're here because we're doing some ghostbusting, aren't we, Michael?
Ghostbusting?
Yeah,
Well, we're going
so
to be...
decent,
If you go towards the light, it'll blind out my thingy, so we won't actually have anything to see now, will we?
Oh, do you want me over there then?
Yes, because the sunlight, when I feature the sun, it's not so good, is it? There we go. Now I'm looking at your back.
Okay.
This is why it takes so long.
Okay, so if you just calm your energy down, Michael, I might be able to pick someone up because I did see a woman walking around here.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm now going to see if I can tune into her energy. This woman, she's got like a night dress on.
Right.
And I would say it must be Victorian the way she's got. It's like a collar was tied up, a long white like night dress, and she's got like a mop hat on. So that's something they would have slept in, I think.
You're right.
So this is probably what she got buried in, maybe. Okay, so she's coming forward, darling. Come forward. Mary. Her name is Mary. Okay. She's about 60, maybe. What she look like? Okay, around 60s.
And what year are we looking at, do you think? Or
Victorian, definitely. That must have been around the late 1800s, early 1900s. I could say the late 1800s. I'm getting 1895. Okay, so it's late Victorian. And I just asked her what she was, what she passed off. I'm getting the feeling that I can't breathe, so I think that must have been some sort of pneumonia or consumption, they called it then. Right, so she's telling me she lived around here on a farm, okay, so around here.
what direction do you think she lived on? Over there, is that where you've been drawn to?
I've been drawn to this direction, and there was a farm. Maybe it's still there, I don't know.
What's the name of the farm?
The Kiln.
Latilde.
The Kiln.
The Kiln.
K-I-L-N.
Okay, but it might not be called that now. That was
No.
possibly what it was called then. Does she know what it's called now?
I don't even think it's there no more.
Right.
I can't see it.
Okay.
But that was a small farm,
Yeah.
And she had some children, hang on. 3 sons, I'm saying 3 sons. A husband. He died before her.
What was the surname?
Brown. With an E on the end.
Okay, and what happened to her when her husband died? Did she lose the fart, or what happened to her?
When her husband died, her sons were still there.
Ah.
When she died, the sons sold the farm, and I think that went into disrepute. There could be some remnants of it somewhere, but the sons sold the farm, and some of the money went to burying her, actually, because there wasn't no money in the pot.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm getting her son's name: Robert, William, and Joe.
Right.
Robert, William, and Joe. Joseph.
Is she buried in this graveyard?
Are you buried in this graveyard? Yes, she is.
Whereabouts is she? Can we find her? Is her grave still here? Will we be able to find her headstone?
There wasn't enough money for a proper one.
Ah.
But there might be an existing old cross somewhere.
Yeah, that would be rotted out if it was wooden or anything like that.
I've been pulled over that direction anyway. That's where she come from.
Right.
She's walking around in a night dress, and I'm asking her why she's not gone over.
Yeah.
Right, so she's telling me she really suffered at the end. There wasn't no money for medicine, so she really struggled to pass over because there weren't no money for painkillers or medicine or anything like that. And that pain she went through has kept her hair. Okay? Has kept her hair. I think I've been pulled over there, so can we just walk over there, Michael?
And so it was the pain, the excruciating pain, because consumption pneumonia is a very painful,
as you know.
as I know, affliction to have, and to have it without painkillers would have been
Excruciating.
absolutely awful.
So I just realised I pulled over to this direction, but it's all overgrown.
Yeah.
But we will have a look. Michael, if you want to switch it off while we look. And
No,
then...
we'll have a look and just see if you can. These are 1954. These are too recent, Tina.
Yeah, but
It's overgrown, but it doesn't mean to say.
I just pulled in this area.
Yeah.
So there might have been a cross or something. That's just not.
And these actually might have been put in after.
Yeah.
There's some older headstone. We'll have a look at those in a minute.
Yeah.
And so she's held in the in this space.
Yeah.
She's got through the pain of her death. Then, Tina, was that? And that was.
That's what she's saying.
Yeah.
The way
Did she have a good life?
No, she had a hard working life.
So what did she do?
Well, she was a farm woman, a farmer's wife, and she would help in any way. She'd be, milking cows, she'd be making bread and cheese, and selling that off if she can, working on the land, because there weren't no tractors or anything
No,
then.
been hard life.
That would have been a hard life for her.
And what about her husband? How did she get on with her husband? Was he a good man, or was he?
He was a good man. Yeah, he was a good man. But they lived a hard life.
But they had 3 sons, so that would have been a benefit, wouldn't it?
Robert, William, Joseph. Yes, they all helped together. Obviously, there's other farm hands. That's what she's telling me. But
it was a reasonably sized farm then, Tina. If there was other farm hands.
I mean, it still could be there. I mean, there's farm buildings, isn't there?
There's a house over there, but that does look quite modern, doesn't it?
No, not the house, the farm buildings, I was saying.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Might have gone back to that date, Victorian. Yeah, I can see an old one. Yeah. She got any message?
Okay, Dan, what you got to say? Before I take her over, she says, we need to go into church, she says. We need to go to church for something else. But anyway,
Okay.
she's no tell me, but she says, we might have had a hard life, but, we stuck together and we were happy.
Yeah.
In that way, we had a really hard life, but she said, I wouldn't want to be here today.
No. Are there any other spirits in this yard? Is she aware of them in her state? Or is she just aware of herself and...
Well, to her, she's just now died.
Yeah.
So I do feel there's a young girl as well, but not attached to her.
No.
But I do feel there's a young girl.
Is she aware of the young girl?
No.
Okay. I was just trying to get a handle on their perception.
She just walks around the graveyard a lot.
Yeah.
But she's got this nightdress on, that's why I found it. So she stood out, okay, because she's buried in. That's what she died in. She was buried in what she died in.
Yeah.
And although I see blood, so that come to a stage where consumption, you cough up blood, and that's what killed her. Her lungs drowned in blood.
Wow.
Because there was no treatment,
Nope.
or they couldn't afford it, or whatever.
Awful.
But she died a horrible way, and that's what sort of kept her here, because she was still in that feeling, even though she's not in pain at all now. The feeling of struggling and being really terrified of drowning in your own lungs, drowning in your own blood.
Yeah.
And the pain was excruciating.
Yes.
Bless her heart. Bless you, darling. Okay, so shall we help this one
Yep,
along? So we can
I think so, Tina. She's suffered long enough, hasn't she?
All right, Mary, bless your heart. Mary Beth. She said my name was Mary Beth, so I can't get that right, Mary Beth. Okay, darling. Are you ready to go over to your loved ones? They're waiting for you in spirit. Okay, so if you look up to the tree, she's been sitting around that tree. Portal's open. I see the light coming down to envelope Mary. Wrap her in their light. She's smiling. She's really feeling happy now. She's feeling some sort of love or some sort of really good energy around her, which she hadn't been feeling for years because she's stuck with ether.
Yeah.
Okay. And she's now going to send. Husband's up there, children, her mum and dad. There's loads of people waiting up there for her. she's gone. She's gone. That was lovely.
And who was, her husband was
There was
there?
loads of people, yeah. Her husband was there first, but her mum and dad, you know, her children, her grandchildren, because they're all past now, aren't they? It's a huge family of light of beings waiting for her.
So for her, she 1 minute she's
Oh.
dying on the bed, the next minute she's wandering round
But to her, it's
graveyard,
moment by
that
moment,
and this has only taken a few seconds in
Yeah.
her perception of time, and now she's gone straight to her family. So for her, she's almost gone from her deathbed straight to her family within a little bit. So
The reason why she couldn't go, I think the reason why because she was stuck in that trauma of pain, that can happen, you know.
yeah,
Especially like in war and stuff, there's loads soldiers wandering around because they're just stuck in that trauma.
yes. Well, I'll tell you what, couldn't have picked a better day for it. It's absolutely lovely. It's
It's
so
lovely,
still
isn't
and
it,
calm. Anyway.
Do you want to stop now? We're going
Yep.
to